Hi Virgos, this is Lada and Marina from astrolada.com. We're here with your yearly horoscope for 2017. And that's a forecast for everyone who has their ascendant, sun or moon in Virgo. And if you don't know what your ascendant is or your moon is, you can find them out from my birth chart calculator. I'll put a link for it. You just need to know your time of birth and go to the planetary detail table and check what your ascendant sign is. You might be sun in Virgo, but you might have your ascendant sign in Scorpio, for example. So you might have to listen to the forecast for Scorpio as well to get a more fuller picture. So, hi Marina.
Hi Wada. Hi everyone.
We are ready for Virgo. And Marina is a Western astrologer. I'm also a Western astrologer, but I use some Vedic techniques as well. So we'll give you both perspectives. And just to tell everyone, especially Virgos, they tend to like calendars and they like to be prepared and to plan things well for the future and to have everything laid out, so to have more order. So Marina is preparing her yearly horoscope, which will be available on the 1st of December 2016 for the whole year of 2017. And if you get it before the 1st of September, you can get a discount. It's only $20, but this calendar will show you basically the best days for any activities, whether it's connected to career, to business, to money. And it's Marina uses a special ancient techniques to create that calendar, which is based on Babylonian and Chaldean observational astrology. The stars and the planets, the heliacal risings of the planets, which means when a planet is visible, when it's invisible. For example, when Mercury is invisible, it's not so good to do mercurial activities. They're not visible. Or when Venus is invisible, matters of love or forgiveness or understanding become more difficult. So Marina outlines all those phases and also the new moons, the full moons, how they affect you personally. There are eclipses as well. It's going to be very comprehensive, and I'm looking forward to that calendar. And those of you who want to learn astrology more in depth, we have lots of courses, me and Marina, sometimes just Marina or me, on astrology, webinars, courses, seminars, for a very reasonable price, very affordable price if you want to understand astrology more in depth, very easy to understand. And so check those courses out as well from the links below. Okay, so hi Marina.
Hi Oda.
How can we make Virgos happy 2017?
Of course, yeah. We can make everyone happy because first of all, we all have Jupiter somewhere in our chart. So even if there are other difficult indications, Jupiter can support us. And it shows the area where we can have some new opportunities and success. And for Virgo this year, especially the first half, actually until October, Jupiter is in their second house. So it's a very positive transit for their finances, for their resources, for earning more money. And usually these monies are related with our personal efforts. They come from our activity, not from others. Even though in this case, Jupiter is in Libra. So you can have communication with others, some kind of negotiations. But because this is your second house, it means that you should be the active side. It doesn't mean that you should avoid partnerships. Actually, they can be beneficial for you, but you shouldn't count so much on receiving money from others because you actually have the opportunity to create this for yourself. Mm-hmm. And yeah, generally for finances, all kind of personal resources. Second house is also related with our health, especially our energetical balance. So this is a very supportive transit for people who are having some kind of therapies, especially those which are related with their physical energy and physical body.
To stabilize it. To stabilize
yeah. Yeah. Something we should mention, one of the small difficult sides or negative sides of Jupiter is that this abundance and plenty can result in increased appetite. Also, yeah, I have noticed is that Jupiter in first and second house can lead to increased weight.
Yes.
So you should be careful with your appetite because it can affect your physical body,
Yes,
body literally.
Second house is what we put in the body, it's the food.
And Jupiter, what we store. So with Jupiter, you can store plenty of.
Oh yeah, you can store the fat.
Yeah, so be careful.
Yeah, and also I've noticed another thing, that when Jupiter is in the second house, money flow increases, but also can spending increase, because Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So you have more money, maybe new sources of income as well, but you also, maybe your lifestyle becomes such that you spend more at the same time. But that's good, you know.
Yeah,
Spend when we have, obviously, Virgos, lots, especially if your ascendant is in Virgo, to a lesser degree Sun or Moon, but there will be opportunities for increase financially, which you have to be active and initiative about, and the universe will help you to open those doors for you.
Yeah, and I have noticed something else, that even if your income is not increased, like you receive more money, especially at the end of the transit, you may just notice that you have enough. Even if it's not too much, it's enough for what you really need. And sometimes you may even save some money during this transit. But at the end of the transit, you can make the assessments. So Jupiter is second house, yeah, is very positive for your finances.
But it's also, it's kind of changes something in your mind. Like you stop feeling, you know, this mentality of it's not enough, money doesn't grow on tree. You kind of, your mentality changes and you start thinking that, feeling almost like the universe will provide whatever it's necessary, that the right resources will come on time. And usually, even if it's not money, it can be some kind of resources. Say you might be a person who is trying to source out different sources. Say you might be in some manufacturing and production, and you might find much better materials, for example. Or you might be a painter, and Jupiter in the second house can allow you to get the best paints and the best, you know, whatever resources you need for that business that you're doing, can expand that. And sometimes people can spend money on Jupiterian things more when Jupiter is in the second house, like more glamorous things as well, or they can spend money on education, for example.
Yeah, or traveling.
Or traveling, yeah, because traveling, higher education, expanding your horizons, so they can, and also such matters can become a source of income for you. If your income is anyway connected with higher education, with teaching, with advising, or with traveling, it can expand your resources. Or managing resources of any sort, it can expand your success in that field as well.
Or if your business is abroad, if you have partners who are foreigners, this is also a very positive transit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember when Jupiter was transiting my second house from the ascendant, it was the first time after 1 year of not having any money before, it was the first time I started getting some orders for astrological readings. And I was like, I didn't become a millionaire or anything, but I was like, yeah, I'm making some.
Yeah, it's very interesting because the previous year Jupiter was in first house for Virgo now. And things that they have started during the past 1 year, new activities, new projects, now they can bring money for them.
Yeah.
Especially things, like you said, things that you have started recently during the past year. Now you can receive the financial results from that.
Absolutely. And another thing I've noticed is that, as Marina said, even if you don't become rich or get so much money, which usually that tends to be increased, but somehow always at the right time, at the right place, even in a tough situation when Jupiter is in the second house, you manage to find and to make the resources and the money necessary. It's like you're protected there because Jupiter is a protecting, beneficial influence.
Yeah, you have luck. This is also for people playing lottery or some games. This can be a very positive transit because Jupiter is the planet that can bring gifts and things that even we are not we haven't been hardworking for that. So if you're trying to receive money without serious efforts, this is the transit for you.
But if you put some effort, even better.
Yeah, of course. Especially with the positive influence of Saturn, actually, if you put efforts, because Saturn is making harmonious aspect with Jupiter, now they're in sextile. So it means that if you're hardworking, disciplined, you have some kind of order, this can actually increase the positive influence of Jupiter in second house. And it can even bring some stability. Your financial your increased income can actually be stable and can be long-lasting for you.
Yeah, so for material matters of material nature, Jupiter is very supportive, and it's making trine to the 10th house. So sometimes I've seen people just get a promotion, which brings them more financial security that they get. For example, I also saw a few people with Jupiter, with Virgo ascendant, they got new jobs in the past 1 year when Jupiter transited their ascendant or their sun. And then when Jupiter enters in their second house, they might get, for example, increase in payment or in salary or something like that.
Yeah, very often.
And at the same time, the other planet that's very important to look at is Saturn. And Saturn is where we have to put effort. And Saturn, for all Virgos, in the last year and a half, has been already in their fourth house, the fourth sign from their sun, moon, or ascendant. And it has one more year, 2017, the whole 2017 Saturn will be for the last year in their fourth house and not to return there for 29 years after that. But some Virgo may already have felt those themes we're talking about. Some of them will feel them now in 2017. So Saturn in the fourth house. What can you tell us about that, Marina?
Saturn in fourth house can be related with more obligations in your home. For example, you may need to take care for your property. You can make some changes like sell a property, buy a new property, but things may not happen very fast. Usually it requires some kind of planning, or you may need to repair some of the stuff so that you can achieve your goals. Also, it's related with some kind of responsibility with your responsibilities with your family members. For example, you may need to support your parents or your children. Also, in some cases, because Saturn is making square, so it means that you may have lots of responsibilities, and sometimes it might be a little frustrating for you, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, because the screen froze. Okay, it's just for me. Yeah, so Saturn in fourth house is related with lots of responsibilities with our home. Also, it's possible that we may not feel very cozy when we are at home because there are lots of things to care about, to take care. So also, Saturn in fourth house is very strong because it's a cardinal sign, a cardinal house. So it means that it's a time for more responsibilities. And the fact that it makes square with your sun or ascendant means that you may need to neglect some of your personal wishes, some of your personal desires, to change your plans, your personal plans, because of your responsibilities related with family and home and this stuff.
Yeah, I had a client, Virgo ascendant, and don't forget that Saturn was already in 2016 in your fourth house for Virgo. So how it played out for one client is that there was like a situation where he had to relocate and move to live somewhere else, but he couldn't sell the property and he had to rent it out, and he's still waiting to sell the property because Saturn just makes things harder with more effort, delay them.
With Saturn in fourth house, actually, we can change our home, we can relocate, but usually it will require some time to adapt to the new circumstances and the new atmosphere.
It might be due to outer pressure that we had to do that, for example.
Yeah. And it will take time to feel it as your home. It doesn't mean sometimes you have to do that because Saturn is related with responsibilities. So you may really need to do that, but you should be patient. So because the atmosphere might be more hard.
Mm-hmm. And also, if you're trying to sell property, don't rush, maybe be more patient, wait out for better offers, or the circumstances might make you to wait out. And many times I've seen people just do renovations in their home, like structural changes.
Yeah, it's a positive transit to do that. Usually it's difficult to plan these things because they can last longer than we have planned them. But it's a positive manifestation of this transit. Also, we shouldn't forget the positive aspect with Jupiter in second house. It means that it's a good time to invest money in property. Saturn in fourth house, Jupiter in second house. It is a positive time to invest your money.
Jupiter says when it transits the second house, I'll protect your finances and I make sure that I find good resources for you. And Saturn says, here we can make changes with your property. And that's a very good...
have something visible. Yeah, Saturn is related with having visible things, material things. So Saturn in fourth house can actually help you to have some kind of stability by having a new property, but as we said, usually it requires efforts and it doesn't happen very fast. But if you have planned it before and it's something that you have been willing to do for a long time, actually now you can do that.
And if you work in any careers that the fourth house related, Virgo, so basically if you're in property management,
real estate business,
very positive, hospitality as well. If you're a kindergarten teacher, taking care of some sort as well. This can be Saturn maybe has already increased your responsibilities in regards to that career, but as Saturn, when you put it into work and you make the efforts, Saturn can reward you very well after that with more stable foundation and structure in life. And I always like to mention something that you're like almost building a foundation in your life right now because Saturn is transiting the fourth house for those 2.5 years. 2017 is the last. And the fourth house is the bottom of the horoscope. And the bottom of the horoscope is like what we stand on, basically, what gives us stability and groundedness. And when Saturn transits there, emotionally might not be the most exciting times because emotionally, fourth house rules our feelings. We might feel a little bit emotionally kind of disconnected or a bit more
lonely. Very often people can feel lonely while they're at home.
Yeah, there is a sense of loneliness that's around in the fourth house, but it's also a good time that you prepare foundation for many years ahead because after Saturn comes out of your fourth house, it starts moving for the next 15 years upwards in the horoscope. The horoscope is a circle, the fourth house is at the bottom, and then Saturn, this very planet of material manifestation, starts rising and going upwards. So it's kind of you're building now some strong emotional, even material foundation that you can rely on for a long time after that when Saturn starts rising up. Okay. So that's the two important planets, Saturn and Jupiter, and they're both in houses that are connected to security in some way. So it seems like Virgos will have a lot of focus on security, on stability, creating that security, whether financial, emotional, in their personal life as well. And they're going to have success in regards to that.
Yeah, and they should be focused on material things. Both fourth and second house are related with material stuff.
Oh, yes, sure. And then what else do we have? We have Venus going retrograde.
Venus is retrograde from 4th of March until 15th of April. Venus most of the time will be retrograde in Aries. The last few days will be in Pisces, and for Virgo, this is in their 8th house. So Venus in 8th house is related mostly with our finances that come from other people. So also it's related with some kind of credits, loans. It's not a positive time for you to get money from others. It's a positive time to return money.
Sorry, it's a positive time to
return money to other people that you have borrowed before. Now you can return that.
Okay, but see that other people that owe you money can bring back, can pay you off.
Both ways can work because Venus is the traditional ruler of second house. So here we have connection between second and 8th house. So it's our money and others people's money. So it can be in both directions. We can receive money from others or return. But I mean, receive money that we have borrowed to other people, not taking new credits. It's not a positive time for new credits.
Yeah.
And making some kind of assessment of your financial situation.
Especially mutual resources. You might have to evaluate with a business partner, with your marriage partner, or with someone you're partnering. You might have to reassess the budget, the finances, you know, how to be more reevaluate it, make plan B, change something there in regards to that.
Yeah, to change your credits, these are some banking terms, but like refinancing of your credits, like taking money from one bank to return to another because you have better options on the new place. Yeah, this is a positive time to do that.
What about remortgaging? Some people do remortgaging, changing their mortgage rate, and that could possibly as well be.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? I can't. Your sound disappeared.
I can hear you.
But I cannot. Maybe try to take out the earplugs and put them in again.
I haven't touched. Is it better now?
Ah, now it came back.
Oh, very strange. Yeah. So actually for Virgo, this Venus retrograde period is mostly related with their finances. But new steps in these areas are not very positive. Just for example, some old bills or may appear. You may need to take care for some expenses that you have forgotten about. And actually, it's a good time to clean your debts. You know, to start something, to start on new.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And that's a short period. That's for a month and a half that it lasts. You know, till
and financial negotiations and contracts are not positive during this time.
Yeah.
So they should be avoided, especially from Virgo.
Yeah. Yeah. So and then we have the North and the South Node changing.
Yeah, the North Node from May 2017 will enter Leo, which for Virgo is in their 12th house. And this is a very special position. It's not so easy because it requires from you to pay more attention on your inner world, on your psychic, on your emotions, on things that are not visible for others. Very often 12th house is related with spending time on your own, some kind of isolation. So it's a good time. The best option actually for this is to have a rest. 12th house is the positive isolation is actually
retire for a little bit.
Yeah. So spending more time on your own, and the South Node is in 6th house, which means that you shouldn't be so focused on your work arrangements, on some obligations. They shouldn't be your priority.
Duties and responsibilities.
Yeah.
Find basically, and this starts from May 2017, continues to the end of 2018. So for Virgos, it means them finding some new method to relax, to let go and let God, as they say, to kind of embrace the inner world, while not trying to fix everything, which is the 6th house, fixing situations, working hard. It doesn't mean stop working fully, but it's good to take some holiday. It's good to take some period, a break, and maybe more time alone, and to let go of some responsibilities and duties that are no longer productive in your life, because whatever the South Node is, will let go of things. And the 6th house is duties, responsibilities of some sort, some work engagements, for example. And we might even have to be forced by outside circumstances to let go of some work arrangement or some work position, for example, and to trust more in the subconscious, where it's going to lead you in fate, so to speak, in the 12th house.
Yes, these are also the houses related with our health, so we may need to pay attention on it. But 12th house is related more with the untraditional methods. working with your psychic, or meditations also, they're related with 12th house. This can have a really healing effect for you. Not having traditional therapies, but some kind of more new, innovative and traditional therapies can be more helpful for you.
Yeah, for sure. And 12th house in Vedic astrology, ancient astrology, rules foreign and faraway places. So it might be a time to basically go to live in a faraway place and to spend long periods in a foreign culture, far away. For example, if you want, or people that are doing any research, which is 12th house, which requires more isolation, spending time alone and isolated, like, for example, medical research, scientific research, or spending more time in some creative project, because 12th house rules also the imagination, the subconscious. Rahu can really increase the vividness of your imagination, the North Node, while it's in the 12th house, and also can help you have anyone who's doing any research, say, for example, you might be preparing a PhD and you might need like a whole year to be more isolated, to research something hard behind the surface, and to kind of, contemplate more and reach some original new, almost like psychically tuning to them. So that can be useful for research, and for people that work in medical fields, people that work in hospitals, in prisons, that work in an island somewhere in isolation. The 12th house, Rahu, the North Node transiting there, can increase gains or productivity or of such activities.
Yeah,
I guess. And I just wanted to mention something. Who is going to feel Saturn transit the most from Virgos? Those Virgos that are born in the last 10 days of Virgo, or the last 10 degrees of Virgo, if it's your ascendant or if it's your moon, it means your sun, your moon or ascendant is from around 21 degrees in Virgo to around 30 degrees in Virgo. Saturn is going to make its more difficult square aspect, or it means that basically if you are born from around the 15th to around the 22nd, 23rd of September, this is where your sun is, Saturn will be squaring your sun. And for this aspect, as we said, Saturn increases responsibilities and duties. You have to do things that maybe are not so much to your liking, but you have to give some service, or you have to put to the agenda more something that you have to contribute socially rather than something that's your personal interest only. And the time might be more pressing, time limits as well, and there might be a little bit of delays as well. And often it can affect the person feeling fully happy when Saturn transits, like the confidence can decrease. So the last 10-degree Virgos, they will be either burdened with more work and responsibilities, and having to become more mature, more serious, more organized overall, and trying to, having to work to put 3 times more extra efforts than at other times. But Saturn rewards perseverance, patience, hard work. Saturn punishes people that, when it makes hard aspects to Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, can not punish, but can backfire if you try to get the shortcut, if you try to get the easy way out, if you just feel sorry for yourself and just lay about and mop about without doing daily little steps. You don't have to do something grand, daily little steps and routines to fulfill the call of Saturn, of maturation, of routine, of structure, of order. And you'll be careful that sometimes, often I see when people have Saturn hard aspect their Sun, they might be working hard on some project that requires a lot of attention to detail, a lot of, a lot of time, and the results might not be forthcoming so much. But at the end of this transit, if you've worked hard, if you've given your best, you can also be rewarded. But for about 1 year, there is like more pressure on you.
And actually, especially in this case, when we have the signs which are included are Virgo and Sagittarius. And here the conflict is between the small details and the bigger picture, the long-term goal. So here we can find some kind of struggle, some kind of frustration. We might be unable to plan the small steps which can lead us to the final result, or we might be too focused on our final goal, but we may not pay attention on the small steps. And this is the general conflict that we should try to solve, especially Virgos, actually, during this year. As you said, the last degrees of the sign.
And you know, guys, after that, both from the end of 2017, Jupiter goes in a sign that supports Virgos, and Saturn goes in a sign that's going to be trining Virgos. So it's kind of, you're going to be having from 2018 a lot more support, and it's going to be activating more fun houses, so to speak, more extrovert houses, more, you know, all kind of female signs in 2017 are kind of have to work a bit more harder, or maybe not immediately the results will be available, because both Saturn and Jupiter are in male signs, and the male signs, you know, have different, they don't have the most easily supportive aspects to the Earth, to the feminine sign, which is Virgo, is one of the feminine signs. But from 2018, things really start kind of changing. So I think that's
yeah, these were the most important influences.
Yeah, so this is almost everything we spoke about. So yeah, thank you so much, Virgos. I know, like, everyone wants to hear, oh, great new love, you become a millionaire next year. And actually, some of you might become, with Jupiter in the second house, you know, one good news. Focus on material and practical, tangible family issues as well. Build that foundation that Saturn requires for you, and Jupiter will support you with opportunities for more financial stability. And also, don't forget, from May onwards, to have a good balance of work and rest, and to basically to be more willing to not to have everything so organized, not to be so Virgo after May, when the South Node goes into the 6th house, which is the house of Virgo, basically, because it's the energy of Virgo, the 6th house. So not trying to control everything and have it down to the smallest detail all the time, because some outer circumstances which are out of our control, which is the 12th house, might be coming out to play out in our life. So we have to be able to go with the flow as well from May onwards. So yeah, thank you so much, Marina.
Thank you, Lala.
And yeah, guys, next week we're doing Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. So come join us for the yearly forecast. Thank you so much for being with us here. Check out our courses, check out the yearly calendar and Marina's and my services. I'm going to put the link for all of them. Thank you, guys. Have a great 2017. Bye.
Bye.